what's up, man?
Oh, well,
Hello. Beep beep. I did the thing. You know the thing. Alrighty, well, I got Henstepl on the phone, and he said he is working his way over here. I say give it another 10 minutes or so. And let him come in here. I also invited Zyklon, but that was a couple of days ago, so I'm not sure if he quite remembers that. But hopefully he comes in here. That'd be nice to see him. He's a pretty fun guy. He's got got a good head on his shoulders. I like it if he could stream with us sometimes. I already talked to you about that last couple of weeks ago, and you said that was cool. But how you been, man? How you been? You there? Can you hear me? Hmm. Alrighty, we're definitely gonna have to give this a little bit more time. Already. All right, all right. Can everybody hear me? Seem to be having some problems with this space here. I might need to restart it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and restart the space, and hopefully Judas can come in here and y'all can make it in here too. Nobody seems to be able to speak, so let's try this again.
Nate, if you want to turn that music off, hit unmute and unmute. Just spam the mute button and it'll turn off the music. Yeah, just spam mute and it turns it off. I don't know why the fuck Elon did that. He ruined this whole website. He's a fucking idiot. That's what it is. It's like chill.
Thanks for helping us launch because this has been taking a while.
Oh, no, that's no problem at all. This website is broken.
X, the Everything is Broken app.
That's not a bad analogy. Not even gonna lie. This whole thing, I can't even have like hour-long spaces anymore. It just crashes. I don't know what the hell is wrong with it.
Damn. Well, hopefully we can do something because my audience has been waiting for a while. Hopefully they can just skip through this if they're watching later. Hey, yo, you got to hit the little red button in order to talk, if you're wondering.
Well, you see, I have a Henstepl here, which you said you were gonna get, which I'm impressed. So big ups to you, Nate.
Yeah. I got a few questions I've been wanting to ask him for a while.
I have a question
now,
for you.
What's that? What's that, man? Ask away.
Why would Henstepl take it upon himself to reach out to you while he's in jail?
We were in correspondence. He was one of the people that kept touch with me after I got banned, which Null actually gave me like a day for everybody to get my information and me to exchange, before he banned me. So that was a weird situation.
No, I'm just genuinely impressed because I was going to give my take on it. To be honest, can I say it?
Yeah, sure.
Nate, to your credit, you may be a lot of things to people. You may be a class clown or whatever the case, a laugh calf, as I like to say. But you have, to your credit, you're very non-judgmental, and it's really easy to talk to you as well because like you don't really go out of your way to like say anything mean, and you take people for what they are, which is impressive.
I've seen some shit. So, like, I've seen what, like, real patheticism looks like. I've seen what real, like, grubby drug addict behavior looks like in real time. So, when people are just acting petty, I don't really get all that upset about it. And when people have problems, I usually go to the root of the problem and ask myself, hey, is that really their fault? Should I be getting upset with them, or should I be getting upset with, like, the bigger picture?
I can respect that, Nate. Are you streaming to YouTube?
Yes, I am. Hold on, let me flip and.
Holy Nate, you're already better than me. You're dual streaming to YouTube and X. I'm proud of you, man. I guess you're the Andy Worski to my gay.
Let's go by Tim Walsh's house and yell retard alert, retard alert.
I wouldn't go that far.
No. We gotta do that.
Well, no, we're not on Kino Casino. We're gonna be better. We're gonna actually. I want to get to the mainstream. We'll be better than Boulder Talk Radio. That's the goal.
So Henstepl and I are gonna go to Destin. We're gonna patronize or Patron. We're gonna Patron the Whataburger that Null used to live at back in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna go to Whataburger that Null used to work at?
Yeah.
What do you plan on ordering?
I don't know. Actually, I've never been to Whataburger. Maybe some water.
And whatever you get, cheddar cheese on it.
Yeah.
Lots of cheddar cheese.
Yeah. I want that shit. I don't want to be able to even taste the burger.
Is Henstepl in Florida as well?
No, he's in Alabama. Bama ways.
Okay, this is actually interesting. So, I think Nate. Let me just put it this way: I think you and Henstepl should go on a road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you two would do. I think you could get something out of it. Maybe kick stream it. I've been telling you, Nate, IRL streaming for you would make you bang. People really want to see more of you.
I would do that one day, actually. And I do have being in the mindset to be a good IRL streamer, but having nobody to record me, I've actually injured my right knee, my left big toe, my left forearm, my left ankle and like 8 of my fingers, and yeah, like I'm all fucked up. These are just my joints. Like I've fucked up other parts of my body, but my joints are all locked up right now,
How
and
did you
it's
do that? Was
fucked
it the
up.
motorcycle
Just over
accident
time,
or something?
just being the sort of person that would be good an IRL streamer, just like kind of being accident prone, to put it simply.
No, but how did you break your fingers? Like, was it fighting?
I think like a third of them was probably football and soccer. Most of them football, but some of them soccer.
Really?
Yeah.
You played soccer? No shit.
Yeah, I was a goalie. So yeah, I did.
I
I
could
did break my
actually.
fingers playing soccer.
I'm not gonna lie, Nate. I could see you as a goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Were you
I was
dedicated?
a damn good one too. Yeah, dedicated goalie.
I'm actually impressed. I used to play baseball, so
I
at
had
least
really
we both
good
have some.
reaction time. Baseball, huh? What position were you favored?
They made me play left field and catcher,
They
but they
made him
usually make me
play
play.
catcher.
Yeah, squatting was the worst part of catcher. Playing left
Ooh,
field was fun
I
because
can't
I can
squat right
actually
now.
catch a ball.
I can't
But
kneel in church. I can't squat. My knee is locked up, bro. Oh,
Nate, can you post the stream link in the X chat for YouTube? People want to watch you.
the
Your audience on.
stream link for the YouTubes. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
actually streaming video too. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah. People are clamoring for you. Jesus, I'm serious. Like you are a bigger star than me. I'm
I look very
literally.
wintry right now. I don't look sharp or summery. I look fluffy and hairy and wintry.
It's okay, Nate. I'm like Scottie Pippen. You're Michael Jordan. You're the real star of the show. You're putting up numbers,
Amen.
my guy.
Amen. Amen. There was a guy in jail. His nickname was Scottie Pippen. He was the coolest
What
motherfucker. He
the
was
fuck?
so talented, motherfucker. He could melt down Skittles and then make the most beautiful artwork you've ever seen. He made this detailed ass tree with a face on it. It was all gnarled and shit. And one day the guards just came down and they just swiped that shit, and then just walked out with it.
How
I bet you they sold it.
how did you meet someone named Scottie Pippen in jail?
He was in my pod.
No shit.
Yeah.
Really?
He was the heart of the pod. He
He
wasn't
was
the head of the
I
pod,
thought
but he
you'd
was
be
the
the
heart of
heart
the
of the
pod.
pod.
Yeah.
I know that's you, Nate.
My bunkie, the bottom bunk from my top bunk was the head of the pod, and that motherfucker was big. Oh my god, I'm not sure if my vision was distorted or what from like the perception of the trauma, the memory, and how it warps things. But this motherfucker's back was as big as a refrigerator, and this guy was huge, and he had like this huge, like crazy devil tattoo, all on his back. Like really detailed, almost Yakuza
Wait.
level.
He had a devil tattoo on his back.
Yeah, it was like Diablo. The big ram horns, but with like the.
Yeah, he had a Baphomet tattoo. Is what you're saying?
I'd say that's more like Diablo, like the
Diablo,
fucking game,
but
like the game Diablo. That's what that shit looked like.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, that makes more sense. That's a better way to put it.
I'm not sure if that's what he was going for, but yeah, that's what it reminded me.
That was your
Steven,
bunkie.
Steven, can you get in here, man? You gotta press the button. You gotta press the button. This is your episode, bro. What's up?
What's up? I was just patiently waiting my turn. It's good to hear from you all.
Hey, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm happy you're out. We were just talking about jail.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah,
it's good.
How you doing,
Hey, do you have any
Henstepl?
stories? Do you have any interesting people that you met? Do you have any like 380 pounds?
Actually, I have a question for him.
That you ran into and made friends with.
He was. If I could call you Steven, I'll call you that. But
and I'll get
you were talking about fluorescent lights. What kind of voltage was those light bulbs for the fluorescent light to bother you? I'm actually really curious.
I think it's just the entire fluorescent category because the entire category flickers at 50 times a second and it's very glaring. It will completely throw you off, and they don't even turn off every single light at night, so there's still a fluorescent there to irritate you at 2 a.m., which is the worst.
Fluorescence
the
and
worst
white, blue LEDs. I hate both of those.
Yeah, any of these things can set you up, but I know you've talked about it your own self, but fluorescents are just categorically the worst of the worst, and I have to come to terms with something in my life. Though I am getting really good at dealing with it now, I have a terrible, terrible problem with it. Mostly because it's so intangible. It's like it's an aura disease. I barefacedly, I just look good People tell me that I look good. People say I look like Jesus Christ. But if you
Hell
put me
yeah.
in fluorescence, yeah, that's don't let me go on and on about that. But if you put me in fluorescent lights, it's incredible. People just turn nasty as if they're talking to the Antichrist instead. It's the
Can you explain how do people like? Do they just come up to you and you're like, "Man, you're Jesus Christ incarnated"?
I think it's more of how he's reacting to the lights and his aura and how it's affected
His
by it.
aura. See, I don't aura
My
farm.
dad can see
I
that shit. My
oh, I
dad
do.
has been able to see that shit his entire life.
Well,
Yeah.
there is so much to be said about the looks on the face. There is so much to be said about how people will automatically respond to you. Um, I have had some really unabashed. This is not an exaggeration. Once in my life, 1 or 2 years ago, I had an 18-year-old girl approach me and say the
Wow.
words, "Sorry,
There
Stephen,
is
I just had to stand in your aura." I'm not even exaggerating these things. It really comes to that. But
Your aura is that strong. Like you're like an anime character. Like you're drawn. Everyone's drawn to you.
yes, unabashedly,
That's impressive.
I am so well received. I receive so many messages checking up on me.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes,
How did you remember Nate's? You said your sister gave you Nate's phone number, but why did you call Nate from
because
jail?
there are different realms in my life, and the connection spelled with an X for Nate for jail between the Kiwi Farms world and everything surrounding that was to be Nate Matthews. That was the one that I could procure.
That makes
Um,
sense. That actually
yeah,
checks out.
yeah, and it was a simple enough task for my sister to get the phone number. I'm not gonna what I'm gonna tell her. I'll go make an account on kiwifarms.net and I'll tell you who to get in contact with. He was just there, and it was a great guy. Great to check in with him and hear from him, and hear his own recommendations for the jailhouse environment. No, that even though I got
What did Nate recommend you? What
well,
was Nate's suggestions?
well, well, let's see. First of all, First of all, I think we both had, for a moment, the impression that I would be there longer than I would. You
Yeah.
understand when it's a mental health hold, that realistically means if nobody changes it, if no lawyer fixes out your situation, you can be there for 6 months to 2 years while the pathetic state hospital works on patients until a bed is available. That's a terrible long time compared to the 60 months, the 60 days that I did. So we were considering options for what might have come to pass and places I might have gone, but we're just glad it didn't really come to that. He was
Why did you go to jail? If you don't mind me asking, if you can.
So
well
so Judas,
because
did you know the story of Henstepl? Because this guy's been on Mad at the Internet before.
I do not.
Oh my
I've talked to
goodness!
him
So
lots
this
of
is like
time in
from 4 or 5
chat.
years ago. This is an this is an old thing, but this is back when like Null was doing like big stuff constantly. So this was back when his YouTube channel had like some 100,000 some odd views on it. So it was a good time to get spotlighted by Null, I gotta say. My time getting spotlighted by Null was the single worst time, buried on Odyssey in like the time when he was getting hella doxxed by 3 different sources. So, but
Do you want? Okay, Nate. Since you brought it up, did you want to be famous for being on
no,
that at the internet?
no, that
Yeah,
was
you
not
don't
my
want to.
intent. I
Yeah,
was
you don't
just
want
trying
an
to help.
anime sucks Cope and Sneed a moment. You don't really want that. That's hard to rub off.
No, 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 no. If I were to donate, I would try to think of something really funny or interesting. I wouldn't just do farting dragons. But I'm sorry to derail you, Stephen. It is always interesting to hear like how bad it's gotten, like how torturous it is, because it really is like they're gonna make it worse and worse, especially in certain areas first. There is one lady that got thrown into a place, she's from Texas, and she got thrown into a jail down here in Florida, and they blasted her with like heavy metal music and like cold air to the point where she was like huddling with other inmates, and like she didn't even do anything wrong. She was scooped up on wrong charges, but they were treating her like she's fucking Guantanamo Bay inmate. So how bad was how cold was it? How bad were the bunks? How bad were the sheets and the you know the smell of things? Do people keep a pretty clean ship over there?
Yeah, there were one or two guys who might have been janitors on the outside. They would they would bring us a mop like once a week, and they would go on a cleaning spree. Bless them for that. I just
Bless the
tried to stay out of
Jannies.
the way. The Jannies, yeah. One of them was a kind of friendly black preacher sort of guy, actually. The very same one that was cleaning, and he was also running a prayer circle every night.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah,
Amen.
he had the same song that he sung every night. It was "Thank you, Lord," and so on and so forth. I'm not going to sing it, but
I can feel the spirit
it was
now.
okay. There was camaraderie. The provisions were jailhouse provisions. They're no good. They're meager most when you first get the stuff, but you end up everybody trades your crappy mat for a better mat when
Yeah.
somebody leaves. There's always a rush for such things because you do have to take your mat when you leave, but you just have to have some kind of mat. So hopefully you bring out the crappiest one so that
You
somebody else.
said you traded your breakfast every day. Why would you do that?
Because oh sir, I have such a difficult sleep disorder. I
Are you epileptic? What? Excuse
epilep-
me.
epileptic. No, I just when I'm on the outside, I'm a sleep professional, but that's because I have all the measures available to me and none of the fluorescent lights. I'm very proud to wake up at 7 a.m. for a 7 a.m. shift at work. That's just um,
That's something to
my
be proud
sign
of.
that I'm putting up a fight against disability. On the
I
inside,
can't get that down. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really, really can't. I try,
well,
but sometimes I really struggle with that shit. If I had to do that consistently, I'd fail.
don't I know there are ways about it, and I don't even have proper sleep meds or anything, but you know how hard I force things with methodology and such.
Yeah.
On the inside though, asking about breakfast, I was sleeping until noon or 2 p.m. every day, so I I could wake up. Well, I did get out of bed for the 6 a.m. trays, but why even? It's not going to make me feel better to eat at that time. I would just as well. Initially, I was even trading lunch, but I would just as well trade away the breakfast and have ramen for use later on, and that just worked for me because I'm not going to eat it at that hour. It's not working with my schedule.
Because some people in jail, because I don't know how things will happen with you, but sometimes people don't let you sleep in jail. Like even like as Nate will tell you, the pod boss will say you're sleeping, you need to get up, even though you're tired. So wasn't you didn't have a situation like that in jail?
I don't think we had anybody mean enough to be called a pod boss. There was people talking at all hours of the night. It- Perhaps annoyingly till 2 or 3 a.m. But it was all camaraderie enough, and we were all in the same boat. Nobody was gonna uh, really create a nasty situation out of it.
Yeah, if you go to the places where they send you when you fight, the 300s in our cases, they call that the jungle. People will like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, it's because of how it sounds. It's because of how it sounds. 300s is lockup. You got 23 and a half hour lockup in 300. So it's not really like it's like, like a city or anything, but it sounds like a zoo because people are laying on their fucking cell floors, slamming the door over and over and over again at all hours of the day, and you can't fucking sleep.
Were you the walrus, Nate, in jail then? If it's the zoo or the jungle,
I
were you
was
the
cuckoo
walrus?
cuckoo, man. That shit was
You,
fucking
yeah, I
nuts.
think so.
I went to every part of the jail. I saw how that shit was, and that is not the place that you want to be. You do not want to be
Were
in
you in
constant
solitary,
lockdown.
Nate?
That is that. Well, actually, they don't have. No, actually, yeah. I haven't been to solitary. I'm not even sure if my local place has solitary. They can torture you well enough without like
They can
depriving you.
torture you.
They can torture. They can torture you
What?
well enough without depriving you of like that human right to be around another person for like more than like a little bit of time a day. It is really bad. If anybody here who doesn't know about jail, which I think probably all of you do, except for you maybe,
I've been
Judas.
detained.
Judas, listen, Judas. If you ever go to jail, go to GP. Just be chill. Go to GP. Just be chill. No matter
General
how
Pop, I
scared you
know.
are, no matter how scared you are, it's never as bad as you think it is.
No, Nate.
Speaking of which,
I learned from you, Nate. Just chill with the pod boss, and everything should be
Yeah,
okay.
the pod boss will tell you, "Hey, yo, let's go stand in line for that tray. I'm hungry, man. You can sleep afterwards." But speaking of which, Steven, tell us more. Tell us more. Pray tell.
Well, I wanted to ask you, from your experience, Nate, did you have a designated fighting area, such as a shower, in your
It was
jail?
in the back of people's pods, and they would flip up one of those boats, those plastic boats where people would sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
They'd flip that up to block the window. I got put in that one of those positions once.
No shit. What did you do, Nate?
Well, it was me, my roommate, and my other roommate. And, that's what happened.
Were you guys fighting over the last Hostess cupcake? Like, why were you throwing hands,
it was
man?
a spot in line.
Spot line. Okay, I get the first if I win this fight, and you get the back. That's crazy. Like,
I mean, I held
human
my
centipede.
Here's how it went down. I held my ground, and we got our food, we ate, and then afterwards we fought. So you don't rush into it. Everything is very controlled. Steven will tell you everything's very controlled in jail. He was not chaos, because you could not abide by chaos and be stuck in a corner. Your fight or flight would make you crazy.
Because Henstepl said in chat, because he was explaining that at one point there was someone starting a fight, and he said that someone literally said, "Oh, we'll just meet you in the shower."
Yeah, the showers. That's where that's the minimum security tents. That's where the fighting in the minimum security tents were. And people get their heads slammed against the bricks in the shower. It can get bloody out there. Where's y'all's? Was it the showers?
Well, the whole bathroom area is the utility of a designated fighting area is that's where the cameras are not, and there are no cameras on the toilets. So if you have a dispute with a guy, tell him to go to the shower, or threaten to go to the shower with him, or just to the bathroom area.
Well, you got to do that and be honorable, because guess what? If you punch somebody and it gets caught on camera, both of y'all get locked up. That's fucked up. So y'all gotta, if you either gotta bite your tongue, or you gotta resolve it planning it out.
Yeah, well,
otherwise you're gonna get a horrible reputation for being somebody.
Did you see something like that, Henstepl?
Yes, there were a few fights. There was one crack dealer guy who was quite popular, and I liked him and he liked me, but he didn't like the gay guys.
He didn't like the gay
He's
guy.
A booty bandit in the cell with his sheet up. Every time he come around, I always got his feet up.
I learned the phrase "dick in the booty ass shit" in jail from this conversation. But one of them was accused of stealing trays, or getting 2 trays in the morning, which is very bad, because if they detect more trays have been taken, they will put you all on lockdown. Yes.
Yeah.
So crack dealer was threatening, accusing the gay guy of doing it, and he just started punching the gay guy in full view of the cameras and everything else. So actually, you said that both of them get in trouble. Happily enough for the gay guy, he was actually pretty tall and pretty strong. So he ended up getting the crack dealer in a headlock, and they had to be split up by the other inmates. And this was noticed eventually, and the crack dealer did get locked up. I am happy to say, though, as an assaulted party, the gay guy did not. He went about his merry way. The rest of us got kind of locked down a little bit, but
they toss your cells?
Huh.
No, just
stand against the wall. We're gonna break this up, kind of thing.
No, they just well, there weren't cells, but they just tightened up for a little bit.
Were you in just in a room with a bunch of bunks?
Yes. You were in a wing, right, where they had there was just a bunch of bunks lined up.
It's just a bunch. It's just a bunch of bunk beds filed down all the way as far as the eye can see.
Yes. Well, not that big, but yes.
Well, I'm from California, so I'm I've seen prison videos. I know people in prison. Well, they'll say it's literally because there's bunk to bunk, people sleeping above. There's best way to put it is there's a square foot next to each other. I'm not good with math, but it's literally just bunk everywhere down.
Was it one of those wings where the bunks go all the way into where some people are sleeping, where they can see into the shower and bathroom?
Yes, area? Like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Nate, you know a little bit more about jail.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh,
I hate that
dude,
place.
literally going to California jail or prison is literally just, you might as well just go to hell.
Yeah.
There's no excuse to
Well,
live at that
actually,
point.
prison is apparently a lot chiller. It's a lot chiller. Is it
Why
that
would you
way?
say that?
It's just straight up chiller because they have people accommodated for more long term situations. Whereas in jail, they're trying to make sure that they like scare you straight. They use that as an excuse to really ratchet up how badly they treat people.
Did they try to scare you straight? Like, explain. I've never heard that because
Shit.
usually people say prison is worse than jail.
I think that was probably the zeitgeist like 40 years ago, but it's spiraled so out of control in the last 30 years. And I know why, but I'm not going to get into that now. And people know why. You know, it's very easy to find out why our police in the last 30 years have spiraled out of control. But yeah, it's pretty bad. And it is actually really, really bad. So other than the fact that it's actually kind of fun talking to the people, all the eccentric people that you meet, and all the energy that they'll have for talking to other people in jail, and how they'll be a different version of themselves than when they're outside with access to drugs and in a completely different world. It's actually an experience that basically everybody should go through. It still sucks. It still
You
really,
think
really sucks.
everyone should go through the experience of being arrested? Is what you're saying?
I'd say so.
Everybody
Yeah,
gets one.
I'd say so.
You
It's
think
good
so?
for you. It's good for you.
I mean, I've been detained, but again, I haven't been arrested. What? And Nate, what were you arrested for again?
I've been
Just like the
arrested
New York
probably
years?
like 8 times. A couple of
8
times my
times. No
mugshots made it into
shit.
the newspaper. Yeah, I've had some crazy mugshots. One of my mugshots that took place when I was like 22, 23. I had my hair like spiraling around me like a lion's mane, and my
Nate,
eyes were just
where
huge.
are these pictures?
Well,
Dude, I would have
a
a
girl I
photo
went to school
collage.
showed it to me. I have no
Dude,
idea. I can't even remember the newspaper name if it's defunct or what. But this shit used to be popping up in the gas stations around the area. I was biking around, people would yell at me.
what was your favorite arrest? Like, if
I
you
was
had to name one.
I was riding bicycle when the
The
weather was
recommended one.
permissible, and and then the trolls.
It's a fool you have something that to Nate's 8 arrests.
I was just
So yes,
gonna say,
Steven, can I ask you a question? I've had this loaded up in my barrel for a long time, and then I actually have to take a little break real quick. But I'll listen back on the recording. So I got to ask you a question.
sure.
Please run me through. I think it's 4. Now I'm gonna give it to you in what I believe is chronological order, as you would know. I believe it starts with Florian syndrome facies, as cats would say, facies syndrome. And then it goes into the waveform theory of the brain, and then it goes into your more recent theory about oh shoot, I just had this. I'm sorry, but the last one
Autism?
was the Muslims drinking salt water one. I'm sorry,
Yes.
I forgot the third one. It was important. I just had it, but I lost it. That's how my brain works. But the last was the Muslims drinking salt water. The Islam is a result of Arabs drinking salt water one. So all your theories, man, please run us through your theories. I absolutely love reading about your theories. I gotta take a break though.
Okay. Wow, some break that must be. I spent a lot of time thinking about the brain and what to do with it. I spent a lot of time recently reviewing Scientology actually as something with a single fountain of truth in the angrum, which is a sort of brain error to be resolved, and 1,001 points of mistakenness on top of that. The Scientologists are all wrong except for one thing, which is the angrum. So there are 2 things to correct in the brain, 2 problems to be resolved. One of them is the angrum. It is the enemy. You have to resolve it. You have to fix it through clearing processes, which can be quite complex, and which the Scientologists don't even grasp. The other thing to research is the structure of the soul itself, the individual structures of the soul to be called machines. I have been studying how to change myself, how to change my aura, how to change my body, and yes, to aura farm. And all you can do is reach out your hand and observe the fact that certain structures exist. I have termed them machines, and they all have a pretty uniform shape.
With the Scientology, were you just reading books in jail, or how were you researching Scientology?
I was. You have a way of looking at people around you and doing a pretty profound thing. You put yourself in their shoes, and you become able to uh, look all over yourself with the actual effect that you are looking all over them. You can tell everything there is to know about their aura in order to learn about your own self, in order to shape it to your own self. You can see the engrams, which are literally appended to your body, as errors, as mistakes, as the cause of all illness. And you can, even to a confusing extent, you can work on yourself with the effect that you actually change the people around you instead. Literally, I can sit in the room with somebody who has a lot of engrams, a lot of errors in their brain, and I can work on them through my own highly expedited methods, and they'll walk out of that room without the disease that they walked in, the mental disease that they walked in with. So
How do you conclude that you cured them? Not cured them. Maybe you did cure them. How do you manage it? What's your Do you have like a checklist of how you do this? Like step 1, you do this. Step 2, or depending on the human, you can't really. It's like
you learn where to look. There are hot spots, and there are the same 7 chakras from before. There are the various organs of the body have their reasons to accumulate the quanta in question, and there are other hot spots and places to look, which are akin to a chakra. It's like an organ that has no business being an organ. It's just a good place to look. And if the things in question, the engrams are there, you can go through an algorithm, which is a kind of complicated algorithm to resolve them. But it really is all about the engrams. I believe that the CIA and the American Psychiatric Association even are in agreement with the fact that engrams exist. They're just a little terrified about the prospect.
Do you know about the Memphis sigils?
What are Memphis sigils?
Memphis sigil rap, this specific subculture, the genre of music. I'm gonna send you a video. In fact, I'm gonna put it in the comments and tag you.
Well, I like Memphis rap, but what does that have to do with the?
They be trapping people. They be using soul gems and trapping people's souls. And
they be soul jamming.
They be soul jamming, trapping people's souls and gems and shit, man.
Well, actually, if you know the there was a meme kind of recently of the doom metal band Pentagram, with the guy, very old guy, very white hair, standing on a stage, and he's just looking out demonically at everybody in a room. Do you know the one?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen it from Instagram. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so actually, he has such a look on his face, number one, and it's almost like he has an incredible supernatural shine to his face, like a Stephen King shining sort of thing going on.
Yeah, like he's actually encapsulated by a demon.
So let's assume for a moment something is actually going on here, and we can talk later about the theories of Dr. Donald Cameron is a guy to look at who knows these things. It seems that it would actually be the government's opinion that he's doing something very bad. He's doing the sort of thing that Yoko Ono used to do, which is he's looking at everybody in the audience, and
that's really bad.
This is unabashed government opinion. He's stealing a little piece of their souls.
Yoko Ono was I'm not even. It's funny you say that because she's a known witch. Do you know the story about 6-7? You guys, you know the kids that they do the 6-7 thing.
I don't know the background of it.
I know about 764.
Well, let me. I think you'd be interested. The rapper Skrilla, he's the one who coined the term 6-7, but he is a known devil worshiper. His uncle is a high priest, and he's known to sacrifice goats and chickens and all kinds of things. He had a YouTuber go and interview him and whatever in Kensington, Pennsylvania, and after that man interviewed him, he literally got deathly ill to the point where he was like, "Oh, my body's shutting down."
There are a lot of people who go to Haiti and then come back. They go to
fucked
Haiti,
up, yes,
atheists,
yes,
and they come back believing in the devil.
Oh no, they don't believe in. They believe sometimes they believe in God because sometimes the people there in Haiti they do some black magic onto your soul.
Well, you don't see evidence of God in Haiti. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
That is true. They do.
Our priest just
Nate,
went back and died there. We had a
no,
priest
I
and he
will
went
show
back
you,
and he
Nate.
died in Haiti.
I will DM you. There are literal Haitians that killed their entire family on Instagram too. They will show all of it, like beheadings, everything. It's incredible. And it's essentially to sacrifice their family for wealth and fortune. So
And it's
Haiti
funny
is
because
hell.
they don't get that afterwards, and they probably could have gotten that with the foundation of a healthy home.
Yes, and they Nate. I think Nate. I think we should go and like do some ghost hunting stuff.
I'm a
Maybe we can say-
Skrillionaire because I got a family that love me. Yeah, man, let's go ghost hunting. I'm gonna piss myself in the middle of a dusty old
Henstepl, and we can get Chris Boris. Us four, we could be the ghost hunt. We could be the new Ghostbusters, like the show. I think we have a future.
Sure, that sounds like a great time.
I think you would be great, Henstepl. You could be the Egon. You're really good with. You could be our chakra enforcer because you seem to be really good and in tune with spiritual forces.
Yeah,
Henstepl knows. He knows the intersection between the
similar
chakras
to,
and Kabbalah.
type shit.
Yes, and it's
Sorry to interrupt.
It's funny. No, you're good, Nate. You're the only person I know. It sounds schizophrenic, but you because what you're saying is like out there, but in a way it makes sense. I understand exactly what you're saying, Henstepl.
I think the
So it's
denigration of
credible.
schizophrenia is part of the Freudian psychology that has literally created a bajillion pedophiles and an aristocracy that rules us. No, yeah, the Freud shit is really, really bad.
Oh, you're talking about Freud. That's funny you say that too, Nate.
They denigrate the shit out of schizophrenics in the Soviet system and in the Americanist system.
Have you ever seen the movie Daddy Daycare, Nate?
No. What?
It has Eddie Murphy in it. Because
okay. For a second, I was like, hey, have you seen this gay porn?
no, Daddy Daycare. It was on TV this morning.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's my fault.
No, you're good.
My internet poisoned brain did that.
Because the movie has like 4 to 5 Freud references. They joke about fucking mothers a lot in that movie. It's like I was actually really surprised.
Can't help but think the name is kind of like a tell there.
But yes, it was out there. I was like, I can't believe this is playing on AMC at like 3 a.m. This is really weird.
I derailed the conversation. My apologies. I don't remember.
No, you're good, Nate.
What the particular thread was. Can you get us back on track, Steven?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, we were talking about doing the worst thing in the world, which is demon worship. You know,
yes,
I think it's the hatred of God, actually, not just demon worship, but the hatred of God.
Sure, there is something in this world to be rejected, and you can either do it knowingly, which is the worst thing in the world, or you can be amazed at the fact that there are millions of people who do it unknowingly. It is to do the Yoko Ono thing, which is to look in the face of John Lennon and steal his soul. It is to do the
go back to Yoko Ono. Did you know she used to steal people's hair? Like she would literally go and cut people's hair.
That I didn't know, but I could believe it. Of all the other things in the world to take from people, why not?
Yeah, they say it's a way to take your soul is to take someone's hair and some of their essence. So just to bring it back around to that.
I practically believe that I'm working on my own hairline, my own self, but it's just another way in this world to be nasty, along with the pentagram way of doing it. Actually, before I knew things, I did the same thing at a Kraftwerk concert once. Good Christ forgive me, but in Scientology, you describe the concept of a suppressive person, and we all understand that if you do wrong by the church, if you wrong the church, you are going to be labeled a suppressive person arbitrarily. But there is an actual concept here. A suppressive person is somebody who looks you in the face and hurts you by virtue of looking you in the face. A suppressive person is someone who thrives by creating engrams. It's all the same thing. So Yoko Ono is a suppressive person. Guy from Pentagram is a suppressive person, and it is the worst thing in the world to be one, but there are so many of them. The whole notion at hand is described in the writings of Dr. Donald Cameron, who was CIA MKUltra and later president of the Psychiatric Association, because Donald Cameron wrote down something very regarded initially.
Wait, you're telling me the man who was the founder of the MKUltra programming was later the head of the Psychiatric Institute?
Oh, even worse than that, my friend. He went on a Quiet Prophets World Tour. He was the president of the American Psychiatric Association, the Canadian Psychiatric Association, the World Psychiatric Association, the American Psychopathological. He
No
just
shit.
did
That's
everything
crazy.
because the CIA spent maybe $1 billion on mind control, and they came out of it with a thesis, a master thesis. They had to tell the president that something. What they told the president was basically, holy shit, engrams are real, and it's basically akin to demon possession. There are people who hurt you just by looking in your face. That is the entire nature of disease. That is the fund of disease itself. That is the entire cause of schizophrenia. It is these soul transfers, these possessions, these engrams. So, in a sense, the schizos were right all along. That's the
You
entire
say
thing.
that too because
Priests have
I've
been
heard
saying this for
people.
a while.
No, actually, no. I've heard people say that if you're around schizophrenia enough that you start to pick up the traits of schizophrenia. So it's
Yeah,
interesting. The way you put it, Henstepl, is actually incredible. It was. It ties right back into literally what I'm saying is you're you're a little bit out there, but when you get right down to what your point is that schizophrenia is like it's easily passed down, and they know this, and they just don't want to help people at all. It's actually
to this day, you are not able to find the books that Donald Cameron published, probably for good reason, but you can read a history of him that sounds kind of silly. On his Wikipedia page, it says that he was of the opinion that schizophrenia is literally contagious, and that's the whole thing. So you read it and you're like, oh, that's a funny theory, Dr. Cameron. I'm gonna imagine that's just our 1960s interpretation of the thing, and we've probably supplanted it with a better interpretation in the ensuing days. Probably not actually. Probably the current president of the APA, who is, I believe, named Rappaport is his name. He understands what they discovered with MK Ultra and thereabouts.
Michael
He understands the
Rappaport.
thing is true, and he secretly oversees the orientation of all psychiatry around the truthful knowledge that yes, it is a schizophrenia, it is a literally contagious disease, and yes, you cannot afford to look in the face or largely communicate with a person who has the disease. It cannot be done because they will hurt you.
So here's the
That's
thing.
the
Here's
whole
the thing.
story of it.
Here's the thing. So that means that, okay, so hear me out. You might understand this. That might not make sense to you. Depending on, this will help me define how you think of this. So
Sure.
that indicates that lack of schizophrenia is actually itself contagious as well. The opposite direction, though we do not have words and terms for it, we use words like normalcy, but in reality, the pathway we're on is so damnable, it might not necessarily like be normal to act this way. What if like the gut biome, when you eat nothing but like chicken tenders and then you get like autism from that because it's your second brain and it's wiped out, basically turning into a desert of bacteria when you have 10 times more bacteria than cells in your body, and you absolutely need to tune yourself the right way instead of just steamrolling over every which is egalitarianism, but steamrolling over every little peak and valley to flatten everything out, like flattening out the wrinkles on your brain. What if we are all suffering from a horrific plague of this normalcy, for lack of better
what.
words, this grayness
Well,
of thought?
okay? What would your example of normalcy be? Like white
Okay.
picket fence?
Here's a perfect word for it: bystander effect.
What's a bystander effect for like the
Bystander
layman's
effect
out there?
is what happens when like a Chinese person just stands there or just continues to walk when a baby is
Oddly
being backed.
specific.
They see a baby like crawling in the street, a truck is backing up. They don't run into it like basically every single European person would.
I was gonna make a really dark.
They just like watch it
Yeah,
happen. And like that's
they would
bystander
too.
effect. And that is like extreme normalcy. That is extreme lack of schizophrenia. And that I think is also contagious.
You think people who don't, I guess you would say they don't use self preservation as are non schizophrenics.
That's like an extreme self-preservation to the point where like you don't want to take up the responsibility, you want to take up potential bills, you don't want to actually get hurt yourself. You're so self-preservative that you're like an animal and you're watching the weak member of the herd get like eaten by the predator and you're just like, whatever, not my problem. That's
Like Predator
normalcy, I
Badlands.
guess. That's my definition of normalcy. That makes perfect sense to be what like economic normalcy is. We constantly watch people become homeless for no fault of their own, and they just get eaten, and we're just like, well, it's not my problem. I consider that to be my problem, because that stacks up more and more. The predator gets bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point where like we have now too many predators, not enough food for them.
Well, the stereotypical story of a vampire is, number one, I suppose it is a stereotype that a vampire will seek uh, the innocent. Dracula wants a virgin. Dracula wants a child or thereabouts. There is certainly something that exists in the least afflicted people in the world that makes them. If a schizophrenic has his needs, he will approach. Sadly, he will approach an innocent person, or frankly, a virgin, or anybody youthful.
We must sacrifice a virgin to the sun god.
I mean, I'm familiar with all these things.
I mean, that's a universal concept. What I just said is a universal concept, and what you just said actually aligns to it. It's just like, yeah, no, seriously. Priests have been doing this, and priests have been saying stuff like this, although with less sophisticated wording, for thousands of years. And that means you're archetypally correct, and you can be proven with the scientific method. And I respect the fuck out of that.
Henstepl, were you ordered by the court to see a psychiatrist while you were in jail, or even after? Are they requiring you to see any kind of mandated doctor by any chance?
So, once a long time ago, you asked me why I went to jail in the immediate vicinity. I can only say nothing happened. I didn't act out. I really just got nabbed on that point, and that point alone. Yes, they want me to attend a psychiatrist. The only order they can write is that I'm required to attend a psychiatrist and take medication if medication is ordered by the psychiatrist.
And what medication would they prescribe you? Have you been on like certain like Klonopin and things like that before, or no?
Well, sir, there has literally never been medication. That's a point of embarrassment for them. This is kind of a new
I
thing.
agree, because as someone who has a stomach ailment, they give me pills and this procedure, 10 milligrams of this, 1,000 milligrams of that, 5 milligrams. They don't know what's wrong with me. I'm born to suffer. But
it's to my credit that I don't make mistakes. I have only been told, in point of fact, you're not going to the doctor enough, Stephen. So we're putting you in jail until you make some amends. I had a lawyer promise to make some amends if I was released. So now I'm going to abide by orders. I will be going to a psychiatrist. I can simply look good enough and carry myself well enough that I won't come out with an antipsychotic prescription. I won't be prescribed anything.
Yeah, you want to avoid getting on lithium, because that shit will fundamentally change the physiology of your entire body to the point where you will never be the same again. You do not want to like make them like be like, all right, well, we're gonna pull out the big guns and then just like that's the steamroller that I was talking about earlier.
I believe it. I know it. I possess lithium because you can buy lithium from Amazon.com.
Be careful. That shit's dangerous.
You're telling me you can legitimately buy lithium on it? I have not. I haven't. What?
You gotta be careful, because that shit can fuck your organs up.
Yeah, no shit. But like, I just find that's incredible.
You can
get for Tetra. He used to get nitrous off of Amazon. Like, Amazon has everything. Holy shit.
Well, the nitrous, is used to make whipped cream. Frankly, I purchased the same myself for fun times many years ago. But in the case of lithium, it's interesting because if there is a actual prescription such as haloperidol, no, you cannot buy that from Amazon. But lithium is prescribed as chemically a salt. I think it is.
I think I remember you talking about this a few years ago.
Yeah, well, I was bragging and doing it at the time. So I was going to try it out. Lithium hydrochloride or whatever is the salt that is covered by law. That is the one, if you are prescribed, you receive that. So you can't purchase it on Amazon. But the same goddamn thing physiologically is lithium orotate, just a different salt. Nonetheless, the moment you make that change, it is completely legal to purchase on Amazon. So go ahead and do it, but not actually.
Fascinating.
How many? Let's say, how strong were they? Were they milligrams? Were they like little like Benadryl tablets that you poke through the little tinfoil? Like, how did they work? Not how they work, but package it.
They rather resemble regular vitamin pills in a vitamin pill packaging. There's no blister pack. No, there is not. I didn't try them much, but the framework I had for looking at myself was pretty nascent at the time. I don't know that I was paying attention to the effects. I was not largely hoping to get on the stuff.
Did they make you complacent, or did they make you feel like you're cloudy in your mind?
Yeah, they drag you down, but everything in the category is going to do that. It's not good stuff. It's not good news. But if there are people in this world, and I think I saw a news article regarding the particular efficacy of lithium for bipolar disorder, which is also kind of a medical mystery. I believe they don't really understand it.
They don't.
If you
no, they. I hate to interrupt. I know because this is like getting conceited, but I have a stomach problem, and every time I go to the doctors, they make me do a psychiatric test to see if I'm going to kill myself. Because they literally tell you every time or at least they tell me, not you guys, obviously. They're like, oh, your stomach's like a second brain, so we have to see whether or not you're mentally adequate to be taking these medications or eating this or doing that or whatever the case. So
don't fall for their Jewish tricks. Lock in, and those invisible illnesses will go away. Just ask Steven. He knows how to lock in perfectly. He knows how to lock in like 64 times 64 different ways.
So, have you ever taken Accutane for acne?
No.
Well, it's such a joyous experience because probably we're all men here.
Yes, obviously.
Accutane is the worst, absolute worst birth defect medicine. It will give you more than anything birth defects if you are a pregnant mother.
Oh, geez.
No shit.
A woman has to be on 2 forms of birth control to be on Accutane. You could still get it, I'm aware. A man, well, that's fine. You could just take the stuff. There's no risk anymore, other than the fact that it's kind of powerful stuff. Nonetheless, if you get the Accutane packaging, it's very funny because every time it's like a blister pack on steroids. It's so particular. Every time you want an Accutane pill, you have to pull off a little paper tab with a picture of a pregnant woman on it and a big red X.
So you're saying if I was an agent of chaos and I ran a pregnant woman yoga instruction course and then I slathered myself in Accutane while doing pregnant woman yoga instruction and going around and rubbing myself on all of the pregnant women and then rubbing the Accutane on them, then I would effectively have created a bunch of thalidomide babies.
I think it would probably come to that, but try not to proceed down that.
Yes, don't Nate. No. That's a federal crime, Nate. We're trying to keep you out of jail, not in jail.
The imagination is a powerful thing, and
amen to that. It was in Roblox. Yeah, that was a Roblox mod. That wasn't a game. That wasn't real.
When I was on this stuff, I was an agent of mischief, if not chaos, and it was also in a.
Do they get you high?
No, there's a lot of commentary that Accutane causes psychiatric illness, and frankly,
because my brother used to take not Accutane, but he used to take the lotions and stuff for because he had really bad eczema, so he had to have special acne medication for his skin. So I've never heard this before. So you're explaining something new to me here. Henstepl.
Well, what I did at the end of it all, you end up with 30 or 60 little paper slips, each of which has a pregnant woman and an X. So I was in a dorm. I went to the 3rd floor, the girls' floor, and I taped one of them to every girl's door. And that's what they woke up to.
That's it. You're being an agent of chaos, as Nate would say.
Agent of mischief.
Agent of mischief. Excuse me. I mixed up the terminology.
It's a better.
Or you would call it mischief.
Mischief. Amen to that. Yes, but. Besides Accutane, have they prescribed you anything else? Were you on Xanax or anything of like that?
Please say no.
No,
Thank
So
God.
I can only
Such an
say
overrated
again and
shit
again that
drug.
medication never ensued because I don't make
Have they prescribed you medication and you just don't take it, or they just
oh
don't know what to give you?
what a nothing burger event in my life when I walk out of a doctor's office with a prescription. Now it's on the record. I don't care. I'm not gonna fill the fucking shit. All right.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. So they'll give me something and I just don't even feel it because I'm like, I've already taken like 27 of these versions. I'm good off this one. I know exactly how you feel.
So there was a very long time when I was taking Ambien, and it was very helpful, frankly, to have done the thing in the first place. You know what I mean? Because it exemplified that I was severely struggling with disability at the time, and I kind of got fast tracked to taking Ambien, and I used it to address my sleep disorder, which I have mentioned, but also my magical discovery at the time was if you take Ambien at 3 or 4 p.m. and remain awake, then all of your schizo difficulties disappear just unabashedly. So
How?
Fascinating.
How? Like
it,
the voices go away, or is it the presence? Like,
sir, I don't have voices. I have I have all the subtractive symptoms of schizophrenia
I mean, I think
without
everybody
any
should
of the
have
additive
voices, right?
symptoms.
That's like your
no,
conscience.
because there's different levels of schizophrenia. Because some people hear voices, some people feel presence, some people just feel like they're like in a cloudy state that they don't even know. They feel like they're in a different realm. Essentially, their presence is just not
What you're
here.
referring to is delusional thinking. I think that's different than schizophrenic thinking, right?
Well,
I'm not sure, right?
sir, I have to be a connoisseur of this because I've spent so many years alleging that
Yes,
I
that's
feel
what.
different.
You're the first person willing to ever say that they're like they've had schizophrenic symptoms to me ever. Most people
Well,
are like, this is something like they would be ashamed of, but you're.
okay, the phrase in use is positive and negative symptoms. Actually, those are really crappy terms, so I'm going to interject my own phrase, which is
Yeah, please.
additive and subtractive symptoms. If you have delusions or hallucinations, that is categorized as an additive symptom. I have none of that, none at all. But I am completely dragged down if I don't pay attention to myself and abide by the rules I have discovered for
And that's a
myself. I am
subtractive
completely
one,
dragged
right?
down. You know how ghost-like the people get, how catatonic, how locked
Hmm.
in place people get. Those are all negative symptoms, and that's what I was dealing with.
Do you think
Can,
all the women that bed rot are dealing with that subtractive schizophrenia?
Who are you asking?
You. Do you think all the women that bed rot are dealing with that subtractive schizophrenia you just described?
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything will drag you down. I certainly see that in them, and uh, it will drive you to act out eventually, but it has to be made distinct from the additive symptoms of the thing. I can only disclaim again and again, I
do
don't
you
have
believe in numerology by any chance? Do like numbers speak to you?
numbers speak to me. No, they don't. Probably the most psychotic thing I do is scan my aura and believe myself to have obtained information. But damn it,
Actually,
Steven makes
please
his own
go.
numbers. And I know
No,
how this
please.
works because I'm really bad with numbers. I'm like slightly dysnomic, but if I can like assign the numbers to certain emotional qualities, then I can remember them very easily. I'm pretty sure Steven does that too.
No, because some performative schizophrenics, like on Instagram, they do numerology and stuff, and I don't. That to me, that's
It can
just
get
like
really
again perform.
bad. It can get
It's just
really
performative.
bad when there's numbers all around you and you start noticing things that are necessary, sometimes just coincidences. It can get really, really, really bad. There's a part in my life when I started to get a little bit down the rabbit hole with that. But hey, here's a story for one time I took Ambien. One time I took Ambien and then I stayed up for a little bit and I like closed my eyes once and then I saw this gigantic rainbow floating eye shooting laser beams down to the city below. And that's my Ambien story.
Beautiful. That was very artistic. Thank you. But Henstepl.
yes.
Oh my god, because Nate, you have me sidetracked with your goddamn eye laser beams. Oh my,
Numbers.
no, not numbers. I was gonna ask you something. Oh my god,
Medications.
it'll come back to me.
Or the schizophrenia. He was talking about subtractive and additive symptoms, which is I
No,
find fascinating. Do you want to go into that a little bit more?
Oh, you know your aura. Okay, that I came back to me.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
You were explaining your aura, but can you go into more detail? How? like what is it about your aura that has like such a, like, as you say, like a positive energy?
Well, I think the fact of the matter is that the things in question, the transfers of souls between people, I paint it as a bad thing, like it's something for Yoko Ono alone, but it's terrifyingly present in day-to-day life. If you go about your business and day, you're going to end your day with one or two or three engrams created just that day alone. And most of the time they go away if you yawn or sigh or stretch at the end of the day, but sometimes, or if you are a psychopath, those engrams will not resolve. It's just, it has to be said, it's terrifyingly present in day-to-day life. So I think that in the vein of the youthful persons for vampires, the virgins for vampires, I just have a lot to offer the people around me who are schizophrenic,
You
and I
said this too about jail and the Kiwi Farm set, that people in jail felt your aura, and that a bunch of people would come up to you constantly. Is that true?
Yes, it was true. I had one. There were two intellectuals. That's all the intellectuals there were, and they both gravitated towards me for my opinions.
I
The
believe that.
first one was in the first days. The second one was in the last days, and the second guy was such an aura whore that I had to yell at him. I said the words, "All right, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do if I lie down? You command me to walk. You have been hovering over me for hours. Stop!" And I yelled it, and people were sympathetic because they could see that I was being hounded by him.
What do
Um,
you? How is he aura whoring? I've never heard that phrase.
I
Like,
wouldn't
was he
really
just?
consider that to be an intellectual, more kind of a
well,
crackhead.
no, no, okay. Well, he had plenty to say, and I could hold a conversation with him. That was fine.
Mm.
But um, people who pace, um, and you know that in mental hospitals there are many people pacing, and in jail, frankly, Nate, did you notice a lot of people pacing in jail?
Yeah,
Yeah.
myself.
So, oh well, you might be an aura whore. I'm sorry to say, because
Maybe.
the action of pacing, it's just something about it. It's like the very same as all those Arabs walking around the Kaaba cube in Mecca in Saudi Arabia.
Mm.
They're all doing aura type shit just by virtue of walking in a circle.
Aura type shit.
Yeah. So more often than not, if you are lying down to sleep and somebody is pacing, myself being somebody who has aura to give, I'm gonna notice that and wake up like, oh shit, this guy's trying to. He knows it or not, but he's taking a piece of my soul, which is gonna put him to sleep. It's gonna keep me awake. So I gotta do type shit at that point.
What if I'm pacing
So
around and I'm deliberately flopping my flip flops like extra, extra loud, like flop,
Oh,
flop, flop,
you're probably
flop,
being a
flop.
Scientologist, a suppressive person on top of that.
They're gonna put me in the inside of the cube.
After the Scientologist will tell you to run in circles around a tree because they're trying to do the same thing as
They're
the
gonna
Arabs.
aura farm me to death inside of the cube.
That's exactly true. That's exactly what they're going to do.
was there a Scientologist in jail with you by any chance?
Absolutely not. I'm. First of all, the place I live is in the absolute corner of Alabama. It's very close to Florida. I need you to know that, but it is.
It's a beautiful place. It is a
dead
beautiful place. You live in a gorgeous place, man.
You could say that.
You
It's
have
the
the
kind of
most tree diversity in the United States and one of the most tree diversity of any place in the world.
Yes, perhaps. It's interesting that the entire region is called the wire grass after the presence of a sort of wiry grass, which is found in the sorts of forests that are designed by God to burn periodically. You know the
Mm-hmm.
ones.
Yeah.
And despite being the wiregrass, despite being the specifically Dothan being called wiregrass, this grass has totally disappeared. It's a place that has changed in the past century or two. It may be beautiful, but there are no Scientologists at all. Only myself. If there was something to be offered by
You're a
this,
Scientologist.
sir, there's a
This is
history.
all. This is all news to me. I've
okay.
talked to you a lot in the chat, but I did not know this.
It's okay. So there's a large community of people called the Free Zone. They practice the Dianetics principles, the therapies, without ascribing to the church itself. You could call me free zone. However, I independently discovered all this shit by myself. I'm basically akin to L. Ron Hubbard, except I did it differently and better. Okay?
Yeah,
And
fuck L. Ron Hoya Bimbe. You did it better, Henstepl. We love you, bro.
Run hoya bembe.
Or Bimbe. Yeah, he
The-
can turn that poop into wine. Fuck him.
the Scientologists are delusional. The free zone practitioners are better off, but sorry, they're still delusional. There is only one interpretation, probably. If you could hear the CIA's written interpretation, wherever it is, their summary of the MK Ultra experiments and what they resolved to do with it. If you could talk to Donald Cameron, the doctor who became all those things, you would hear the sanest interpretation of the world of all.
So
And
I'm gonna
that's,
guess you're kind of like the Abadi version of Scientology, and you're kind of waiting for the hidden Imam to appear, the hidden L. Ron Hubbard incarnation with a very very
yes,
high
that's,
thetan count
that's
to appear, right?
that's the thing they profess to be waiting for.
Hell yeah, hell yes, I guessed that shit. Hell yes. I know my
there's a
theology,
few-
man. I know my theology.
What do you call it? Pretenders to the throne. Simulacrum. Simulacry.
Pleroma.
Oh, but all I can say is there is something to be addressed in the world called the Engram. It was tracked down a little bit by the Scientologists, but they got all delusional about it. It is a tremendous problem. I could define it concisely. It is a quantum mechanical artifact spanning two observer-affected quantum human brains. It is a soul transfer. Generally, one person loses a little and the other person gains, and that's the whole story of the world, I'm sorry to say. And that's what I choose to address in making myself healthy.
That's fascinating. Well, let's get back to jail real quick. Did you see any gangsters in jail? Did you see any gang activity? Because I saw a lot of gang activity down over my ways. But is there anything up there? Or is it a little bit too unbusy?
They were not unfriendly enough. Probably the biggest divide was the 2 or 3 or 4 gay guys against everybody else.
I mean,
because you're from Bama. Yeah, because places like California, being gay is like Diddy, for example. He's in New York. Being gay is like a good thing. He has like a sugar mama or boy, whatever the fuck he has in jail. So I guess being gay in Alabama jails are not like they're not in vogue.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hate to say this. Is it a freaking black thing more than anything? I felt like those were the guys stirring up shit.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
I can believe it.
Well, what?
Gay people, black people are the least progressive of any of the demographics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Except for maybe, well, no. Yeah, no, except for maybe Hispanics. Hispanics and black people are very, very, very conservative. It's kind of a mirage that they.
How you doing, Relinquish? Relinquish is a big fan of yours, Nate.
What's up, man? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's European. Always glad to have the worldwide network of Kiwi Farms tentacles not strangling me.
I just came here. I want to ask a question to Henstepl. You, I remember in the general chat, you said something about the topic of aura. You basically said that you have intimidated people at your workplace with your aura or something of that nature.
I intimidate them? Is that the word you used?
Yeah. I believe so, yeah.
I go out of my way to produce a very good aura that has good effects on the people around me. I'd have to see what all you had said at that time, but sometimes you go into it to try to make an impressive display. I don't go about my business and day my work week life trying to be intimidating. I try to work with people. There are all sorts of things you can do, and if you did have to create something intimidating, you could. We were discussing the possibility of making yourself into something akin to a mythological basilisk, somebody that hurts you just by looking in your eyes. And if you really have to be nasty about it, you can do that as well. But I am a good person. I try to be better than that. and I do a pretty good job of it.
Again, I'm gonna tie back. Why were you arrested? If you can talk about it. If you can't, I'm not gonna have you talk about it. But why were you arrested?
You know that I started a fire 5 years ago, right?
No. 5 years ago, I was not. I was only browsing the Kiwi farms. I was not as active as I was. So no, I
Okay,
did not.
well, some shit happened 5 years ago when I was very extremely sick. Nobody was helping me, and frankly, the guy in question was laughing and laughing and laughing at me and just screwing me over at the moment that I needed it. Um, at the current present day, it's just a charge that continues to exist. I'm surprised you didn't know that that happened 5 years ago.
No,
That's the
not
archetype
to
of
be
the
me.
receptionist, right?
No, I'm not to let me before Nate you answer Nate's question. I'm not someone who goes out of their way to like judge people. I don't really unless you're like a sicko
Okay.
that needs to be hung on a cross. You set some fires. Shit happens.
Nobody was
Sometimes people
hurt.
deserve it. Like Nate's done a lot of dumb shit, and not to be mean to you, Nate. A lot of people will go out of their way and like insult you, and they wouldn't even give you the time of day. But I think you're really a genuine human being, Nate, and I enjoy your presence.
Well, thank you, Judas. Yeah, I remember from what Steven said. Yeah, he was going to a psychiatrist's office. They were not helping him at all. They were they had like these freaking big guys that he called teddy bears that were just roughhousing and not doing anything. And then like
Wow.
they wouldn't give him the right medication, and then the receptionist was laughing at him. And so he's just like, "Fuck this shit. I'm gonna burn this shit down." And so he did that shit, making sure that nobody was hurt. And it's not a hero strodi where you take something that's beautiful and awesome that everybody appreciates and burns it down for attention. That is more of a classic. There's like a Zen story.
Is that accurate?
There's like a Zen
And
story.
Nate's depiction?
Yeah, that is right.
Well, it's first of all, it's interesting that you say big guys. They weren't really big guys. It was literal girls and small women, which was a very confusing topic
Oh,
for
who
me.
are the teddy bears?
A receptionist defined as anybody who isn't a big doctor. A receptionist defined as anybody who isn't a judge. It's incredible how you can walk into a place and maybe if the doctor chooses to shit on you and laugh, maybe you deserve it. But it's incredible how you can be entirely destroyed by quote unquote an office manager or a phlebotomist who should be only sticking you for blood, but instead she's screwing you over and laughing in your face.
Can you explain in which way she was screwing you over? Like, was she trying to like dose you, or was she just
Okay.
giving you bad
Well,
advice?
this is a
Because this is
complicated.
all new to me. I don't know anything about this.
Well, this is a complicated subject. I need you to know I went to many offices and I got
Of
rejected
course,
times. But it's
I
incredible.
believe you.
It doesn't even make it to the doctor. You get screwed over by a receptionist. You want to hear how it happened? I'll tell you. The receptionist called me on the phone and told me before I could even talk to the doctor at all, she told me that I should go to a different place, which was called AltaCare. And I said, "Oh, okay, that sounds like a plan. Thank you." And the phone call ended. I understand that she laughed after the fact because you get a sense when people are laughing after the fact. You know it as a conversational cadence. And I looked it up, and AltaCare was an addiction treatment facility. So she fucked me over. She probably um, wrote me off as a drug addict when I wasn't even using drugs. I was doing very well, actually. I was trying to move forward with my life. And she laughed at me. She probably pulled aside the doctor himself and laughed at me. And that was the story of how I became unable to go to one of the several clinics in town. It was a substantial difficulty for me.
Yeah, see, I think I mixed
She put
up
a bad word in
multiple
to
stories.
this clinic.
Yeah, she's, you know, have to get a sense for when you're not welcome, when you can't go back to a place. And that was the moment. That was the moment that I was ruined, especially if she was literally laughing with people about it.
What exactly was she laughing about? Like just at you in general, or did you say something specific that you found funny?
Well, I have, let's see. I have mentioned that I am somebody who has difficulty with approaching people when I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, now I currently do, but at the time it was a much more difficult time. I had a difficulty with fluorescent lighting at the time. I probably had an auric difficulty just the same walking into the place and noticing that all the people in the room were instantly turning their ways against me. Any other environment, I know that I can have people on my side. I can be friends with the people around me. But if you put me in a room like that room at that time, I it
I
was
know
amazing.
exactly what happened. Steven walked into a fucking demonic temple, and he was just like, this fucking place is evil, and he burned that fucking place to the ground. Good job, bro. Well, actually,
Hey,
no,
shit.
not really good job. Don't burn
So
places to
good
the ground.
job. So good job.
Everything is more nuanced than that. But the fact is, I was received with terrible, terrible nastiness at one place after another. If I attribute myself as having a particular aura, which is commonly good but sometimes bad, uh,
Do you think people don't understand your aura?
what is to be understood? They are behaving naturally.
Because some
Actually,
people just
Hold on, Judas.
when
I'm
they
pretty
don't
sure.
understand something,
I'm pretty sure
they're
that's
naturally
what
afraid.
Relinquished meant when he said that people were intimidated. I've people can pick up on like when you are in a good mood, when you're in a bad mood, and when you're in particularly like women pick up on this way easier than men, and it's absolutely 100% fact that sometimes the aura is intimidating. And that's I'm pretty sure what he means when he said that. That sometimes it's a little bit too powerful. Sometimes it's weak.
Hmm.
You know, that's just the way things go. Am I right?
Yes,
Yes.
it's all reactionary from the people around me. I have been the recipient of extreme and incredible nastiness from so many more people than I care to point out in any concise story because it was a very long story and I tried for a very long time. It's all difficult, but it's all comes from nastiness on the parts of others. And
Did she alien? Do you live in a small town? For if you don't want to answer, that's okay.
what I'll say, the 80,000 people there. That's my population.
Okay, so she probably did alienate some people. It's what it does sound like. Because there's no way that you can't go from one clinic to another without having this much distress towards you. So, was there
I
like a situation besides her laughing at you where she like immediately turned and you were like, okay, she just hates me?
Well, sir, the whole thing is very complicated. I can only restate that I have a difficulty with fluorescent lighting, which probably explains a large amount of my difficulty.
Was the office fluorescent lighting then?
Yes, aren't they all? I mean, shit, this is the thing that happens. You make a psychiatrist's office and you fill it with a- the worst lighting in the world. That's just what they do. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really? Because I haven't been to a psychiatrist like that, and I'm surprised that people aren't in your town moved to LEDs because LEDs are usually cheaper than light bulbs at this point.
Well, sir, we're even talking about years ago at this point. This was the year 2019. Everything is even different. So I am, if it is to my credit to say that I was refused very many times, I was. And if I could,
Sorry for interrupting again, but it took them 6 years to like have all your court and your well, not your lawsuit, but your court proceedings to go through.
what was your question?
Did it take the court 6 years to go through with your whatever the case may be, or
They just don't want to touch it. It just fucking sucks for everybody involved at this point.
they're like
Literally,
it's like no, not even to compare to Christian. It's just like that they're just gonna let the case just expire essentially, where they don't have to press charges. They're just gonna ignore it.
bro, that would require the doctor to get the fuck over himself, and he's not going to do it. He's just mad at this point.
Well, here's one thing: is after
that.
a case, as this is what Judas was just saying, after a case has gone on for long enough, it will literally start counting. Okay, You know,
Yeah,
he's been
they
in
have
jail
like,
for this long. This is how long we've observed him. This is basically
and
court observation. This is basically probation this entire time. We're gonna count
and
this
they'll
all.
send like paperwork to the judge saying you have 30 days or whether we're gonna hold him in jail for
Yeah,
X
time
amount of years.
served. You know, you've already
Or
served it, and then you're good to go. That's very likely what's gonna happen because they're just waiting to see if you're gonna burn any other place down, if you're a chronic offender, and if you're not, then they don't really have anything to worry about. Their job is done. They watched you. They took your money. They watched you, and then everything is good. That's what they're required to do.
I mean, yes and no. There is such a thing as a statute of limitations, but it's probably just going to get to an uncomfortable point where we all wish the doctor would get over it, but he's not. So
Yeah.
it's going to continue to an eternity. I
so did you burn did he own that building? Was he leasing the building? Did you burn like certain paperwork? Like, why is he holding a grudge towards you?
Well, I mean, stupid is as stupid does. It didn't do well by him, but there is. I don't think that he could even say with a straight face that he knows the whole story. If there was a grievance, that I had a legitimate grievance, he doesn't know what it is. Probably that's what it is. Anytime there's a receptionist involved, anytime this wasn't a phone call with a doctor.
You were in the office, obviously.
Yes, it was his office, but it was not. It didn't even make its way to the doctor himself before it became a grievance.
Was there people in the building when
Absolutely not. No.
I didn't think so. So I don't understand what's his beef with you is. Is it because you didn't take to his treatments, or I just don't get it.
His current beef. Who can even say I've had another doctor in town tell me he has a personality disorder? He's not. He probably thinks that the case is too nasty for him. He probably thinks that he is a beautiful doctor, somebody's beautiful boy, and
I bet he eats shit. I bet he jacks off with shit. I bet he freezes shit inside of a condom and shoves it up his ass while jacking off with shit.
I can't say that about him.
Kitty filled with diarrhea.
He does good things for autistic children, but that's not to say he did anything for me. It's all complicated. It's all tragic.
I stand by my statements.
Once upon a time, let me tell you something about the shooter of the cinema, the theater in Colorado. You know the one he shot?
Yes.
The guy with the orange hair?
Yes.
Yeah.
The last thing he did before he... Honestly, I have to get off of here before too long. But
oh yeah, you're good, man.
That man did before he shut the place up was he called the suicide hotline. Do you know that?
Yes.
Did he call the trans health line?
No, he called a genuine suicide hotline.
And nobody picked up.
No one. Yeah, so, this is true.
That's not even to make it to a doctor and get shit upon. It's incredible tragic when it doesn't even get in the door.
Well, that's the thing about the trans lifeline is like they were never picking up ever.
But
Greta
the thing
and Nina were taking
here's
all
the thing,
money and then they never
the suicide hotline was it's a government funded industry or entity, whereas the trans hotline was I guess it's like it was like literally like Patron when they made Mighty Number 9. You paid for that.
Hey, Steven, I gotta ask you though. I'm not sure if this got clarified. Please elucidate your Islam theory about saltwater. Please.
This is about the structures of the soul. It's just the same as if you're Jewish, you can't eat pork. It does make your brain sick. That just has to be regarded as true. I have felt that before. I felt an aversion against eating pork. But the thing is that if you do eat pork, you get healthier again eventually. There are certain things you can do to yourself that simply break your brain and change it permanently. They create a soul structure, a shape in your soul, and it will never go away. It will permanently change you to drink seawater. It will permanently change you to inhale seawater. It will permanently change a woman to have sex because she changes the first time she loses, but she changes when she has sex. I study the effects of all these things, and it seems to me that if you have a near drowning event in the vein of Cat Stevens, who had a near drowning event, you will undergo a change in your brain that causes you to behave in an auric sense more similar to an Arab than anybody else.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's really as simple as that. Even today, it was funny because in jail I was watching the people around me. Some of them I believe were in the same boat because I would say 5 times a day they would get all uppity and fitty, and some of them would get on their knees and kowtow as if they knew what they were doing, as if they were facing Mecca, but they weren't. It was just something they had to do. And my own self, I have to perform a ritual. My own self 5 times a day or I get sick. I have a
Do you have OCD?
No. I have to reshape a structure in my soul. I understand it would be achieved if I did the kneeling ritual that the Muslims do, but I have a better way of doing it using just my hands. It's very quick. You wouldn't notice me doing it. I could tell you all about it, but I would have to explain the structures of the soul.
Another time.
Well,
we
there's
gotta have
always
you
next
on.
time.
Yeah.
5 times a day, I have to use my hands to do a ritual, or I begin to get more and more antsy and more problematic. That's something that is had in common with the Arabs. And
Do you ever dial that up? And hold on, 2 questions. Do you ever dial that up intentionally to cause problems? And do you think ninjas and the little hand things that they do is kind of similar to what you figured out?
Yeah, I like the video of the 2 deaf kids having a rap battle from Naruto.
Do you know sign language, Henstepl?
Absolutely not. It's funny how.
Do you want me to teach you? I'm
to
fluent
hear
in sign
people.
language. I can literally teach
Hell
you American
yeah.
Sign Language.
Damn.
Did you learn that in jail? Because I had a lot of people
No.
learn language in jail.
You just doing the
No.
floppity hands in the corner of the screen.
I just know how to do it. Let's put it that way. I can teach you if you really want to know. I can help you cleanse your soul with sign language.
Okay, well,
The offer's always there.
I might have learned German instead first, maybe Yiddish. But
Hey, you learn Yiddish so you can get yourself a really nice Israeli girlfriend, man. You never know.
I could do with another one of those.
Yeah, see, there you go. See, you're already looking for the future.
I hear if you're into lion taming, I hear that's the path to go.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's getting a little late around here. I should probably make sure that
All right, broski, it was great having you on. Please come on sometime.
Yeah.
Another time.
I'm glad to do that. Very glad to do that. I just need to be careful not to awaken anybody. Hey,
All right.
God bless all y'all.
Yeah.
Hey,
God
love you,
bless you.
Henstepl.
Love you too, pal.
Wow, Nate, I'm proud. You got Henstepl. You're a man of your word, Nate. I'm proud of you.
That was fun. It was good. It was a good cow
I'm
talk.
glad. That was a great cow talk. So good night to you guys and gals for coming out.
Good night,
I appreciate
everybody.
y'all. Thank you, Nate. Always great to talk to you. We'll probably talk again this week.
Yeah, man. We'll be in touch.
All right. Good night, Nate.
Good night.